Hi, I'm Barbara Nankervis.
I'm Peter Nankervis.
I'm Will Nankervis.
I'm Jane Nankervis.
I'm Alex Nankervis.
Traditionally we were beef farmers, as Dad always was a beef farmer. Yeah, the farm size is, Barb and I own 440 hectares of farm here, and we've got a freehold, and there's we've got a water right out of the creek of 186 megs, and we've got a farm dam here with 480 megs of water on it. We built some 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and we're also renting a neighbour's farm up the road, and it's a half a square mile block of 320 acres. So, yeah, we've got that. We've been running 300 to 400 beef cattle a year with calves, as well as a couple of hundred acres of peppermint. But now we're going to go to the dairy. We're going to start off with about 450 cows, and the dairy's been designed for about 600 cows. With all the children wanting to be part of the farm and live off the farm, that was why we went that way after doing much work on seeing whether that's what we wanted. So
We've been talking about it for 2 years, so it was, we just really made sure we all wanted to be part of it, and the kids, we really needed the kids to say yes, because if they weren't interested, we weren't going to do it. Because Pete and I are getting on, and we want to, of course, thinking about backing off a bit.
And getting all the family to agree on it, it wouldn't worry us really if one of the children decide that they want to go off and do something else for a year or two, if that's what they wish to do. And even if they all went, it's still a good asset, and I'm sure we get some good shared dairy farmers in if we needed to. So there's no pressure on anyone really to farm if they don't want to. What we've done, we've invested a couple of $1 million in a dairy and all the infrastructure there. So that's, in the overall scheme, it's not a lot of money for what we've got, and it's still there, even though we might not get the couple of $1 million back on our dairy and all our cattle and cows and that. It's still an asset that we haven't gone for holiday, and it's still on the farm, and it's still increased the value of the farms.
Down the track, 20 years time, I'd like to see us all hopefully still working together, getting along. And the main aim is for this farm not to be divided.
We work well at the minute, and I think unless something changes later down the track, then we'll sort that out later. And hopefully the dairy will provide the means to be able to buy more land, work on another farm, that sort of thing. Have built up enough equipment to share.
Our infrastructure, as you're aware, we've been planning this for 2 years, been thinking about it for well before that. Jane, Alex and Will and I went over to New Zealand, had a look at their dairies over there. We had a look at a lot of dairies in Australia as well, and we come up with the one that suited us and the builder that suited us. We thought were good. We had to wait a little while for our builder because he was busy. We've gone to the New Zealand style dairy, made for pastures. It's not a robotic dairy in any way. It's a new dairy from New Zealand. It's a composite dairy. Yeah, so we picked our dairy and picked our site, which just takes a lot of work. By the time you get all the permits from the government and the shires and EPA and all that takes a long time. And the power, for example, you're looking for 9 months before you get your power on once you pay your deposit for your power. So everything takes a long time, and we started building our shed in, was it November? Mm-hmm. And it's finished now. So that's taken 3 or 4 months, and that went really well. We didn't have any problems with any of that. Some small hiccups, but not a great deal. But but putting everything in place, and now we're making our laneways and fences and water troughs, and there's a lot of work that, you think you're building a dairy, but you just haven't got time to. By the time you are in your dairy helping the men that are building the dairy, you should be out doing your work, and you just don't tend to get out and do your work. And I guess that was one of the things we slipped up on, the boys and I and Jane, when she was home, and we were busy helping in the dairy instead of out doing our farm work and making our laneways.
We've got a generator too, because the power often goes out. Yeah,
the generator's a real problem. We had to buy a generator for the farm, so we got that, and lucky we've got that, because they wanted. It's a 250 kVA generator, Cummins. And that's pretty important to have that up here, because we're on a spur line from Dedarang. Water was a big issue. We put in a pipeline. We put in 3 kilometres of line to get our water to the dairy and our water troughs for the cows.
Yeah, I had a gap year after school and then went into study mechanical engineering and commerce. Even though I'm not going into the engineering degree to use elsewhere, I'll certainly use it here every day.
I felt it was important to go away for a few years, study, get a profession away from the farm, and I've always wanted to come back. The further away you get from the cities, the less opportunities there are in nursing and midwifery. It's what you make of it though.
No, I'm from Melbourne originally. I came up here nursing 30 years ago. They needed a midwife up here. I was doing some agency work and they asked me to come up to Corryong, and I said, where the hell is Corryong? And they said, look, they just need you for 6 weeks. So 6 weeks has turned into 30 years. I met Peter and married him, and here I am.
The challenges will be just the cows will probably be different to the beef, I suppose. They'll need a lot more looking after. There's a lot more support also in dairying than there would be in beef. In beef, everyone's competing against each other, where dairying's more, everyone's working for the same company in a way.
At times I find it challenging being away and coming back. Even though I come back every week, things have changed. Making sure that I keep up to date with it all. Just got to do a little bit extra sometimes.
Herd health's going to be a big change. We're going to have to really keep an eye on all the cattle, which we normally haven't done with the beef. We sort of set them off, let them go in the paddock for a couple of months at a time before we even go see them again. Their pasture management will all change, the way we farm the land.
We'll be milking twice a day. We all will have time off. We don't need to be there every time. I'm excited to start with the milking and all that sort of stuff, and
just do the same thing every day and hopefully they fall into a pattern. The food will help, I'm sure. They get fed in the bale every time they get milked.
We chose the Waikato system over the others after doing a lot of research, the children and Barb and I. And what swayed us in the end to buy the Waikato was they made the platform, they made all the equipment that goes on the platform, and most of the systems that we could have afforded were Australian-made platforms with imported milking equipment on it, and we didn't want to do that. So we went for the Waikato, which does everything. So it's a one-stop shop.
I'm feeling pretty good about it all. Pretty excited and ready to start milking.
Usually starts at sort of 6 o'clock, 6:30. Me and Al get up and then come down to the dairy, make sure everything's running as it should with the milkers, and then we head up and feed the calves. Yeah, we just sort of do odd jobs through the day, whatever needs to be done, whether it be the spraying or whatever, whatever the time of year is, and then by then all the jobs are done, and sort of 4 o'clock comes around, and yeah, it's milking time again. Milking about 400 at the moment. Takes about 2 hours, 2.5 hours from start to finish.
Look, Mike, it's been a really hard 12 months. There's no doubt about it. We bought 2 herds, and they hadn't been on a rotary before, so that was hard getting them on and off the rotary. We were green, we didn't know what we were doing. So look, we sort of know what we're doing a bit more now. I think we're feeling a lot more positive. The weather's better. And the cows are used to the rotary. We think it'll take probably 2 or 3 years, but we think things will get better.
It's taken us 12 months to work out how to run our farm with a dairy herd and how many cows we can run on that farm, without spending all our money on buying feed. I think it's been a challenge, there's no doubt about it. Right now we're going fairly well, I would say. Yeah, we're starting to settle down onto the pretty straight now and work out where we're heading. In March we started milking, and it was all really good for the first couple of months, and then Murray Goulburn had their drop in price, of course, and that that knocked us around quite a bit. But in saying that, you know, we hadn't budgeted on a lot of money coming in for the first year, but that really was an important bit of money we did lose, that extra little bit off the top of the cream, and it made it a bit harder for us as a family to employ people in our workforce. I think it's all uphill from now. Being a bit light on our cow numbers, I think, has helped us a bit. Our costs have been a bit down. We've still had a few beef to help us with our production. From all the reports we're getting that milk prices aren't going to go down, and Murray Goulburn have said that to us, I think they'll only go up. And as well as that, we're getting to manage our farm, like I said earlier, better with our pastures and our cattle, and we'll have more cows. As well as that, we'll have cows to sell as culls, and because we've had no culls, we've had no heifers to come in, so we've been pushing our herd a bit hard. The boys and Jane are certainly learning how to run the farm very well, I think.
I'm glad about the decision that we made. Our roughest patch, I think, is over. Now I'm really starting to enjoy coming home and working on the farm.
I've certainly learned heaps, and we've improved a lot in 14 months. So hopefully I learn just as much in the next 12.